All right, this is number 34, Farm Out. It is the final song in the Orange Belt test. All right, now Farm Out is in 2/4 time. The top number tells you the number of beats in each measure. So how many beats per measure? That's right, 2. And the bottom number tells you the type of note that gets 1 beat. And the way that works is, if you were to say that as a fraction, not that it is a fraction because it is not a fraction, but if you were to say the time signature is a fraction, you would say 2/4, wouldn't you? And the denominator, fourth, that means the fourth note gets the beat. Well, in music, we don't call them fourth notes, we call them quarter notes. But a fourth is a quarter, as you probably know, so that's how that works. All right, so 2 beats per measure, quarter note gets the beat. Now, what I recommend, as with anything else, when you're trying to break this down, you don't want to do the whole song all at once. What you want to do is look at the first section, like the first 4 measures in this case, because it's only 2 beats per measure. And you want to be able to say the tas, say the rhythm and tap your foot. So here I go. Ta, 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 ta. So you want to make sure that I tap my foot 2 beats on that half note, just like what we did in Jolly Old St. Nick. All right, now once you can do that, then you pick 1 note and you play that rhythm on 1 note. I'm going to do it on a B. Ready? So all the notes are 1 count, except when you get to that half note, it's going to be 2 counts. Keep your foot tapping, all right? Then after that, what you want to do is figure out what the notes are. So take a second, see if you can figure out what the notes are in those first 4 measures, all right? If you need to pause the video before I give you the answer, I would like you to try to look them up if you don't know what they are. All right, so here we are. If you said C, 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 G, A, G, you're correct. And again, where do you look to find the notes in case you're not sure what they are? And the answer is in the little kind of tan-colored boxes. If you look at the top of this page on line 30, they show us the E. And then previously on page 8, they showed us the C and the D on lines 19 and 21. And then way back on page 6, lines 1, 2, and 4, they showed us the B, the A, and the G. So that's all the notes we need to know to play these songs. All right, now, here's the thing. The next part, we're just going to say it up to the breath mark. The breath mark looks like a little apostrophe that's above the note, between the notes. And what you do there is you take a breath. So we're only going to go up to the breath mark. So let's say it first and tap our foot. Oh, and this introduces the tie. The tie is a curved line. If you look at the top of the page, it tells you a tie is a curved line that connects 2 notes of the same pitch. So that would mean like a C being attached to a C with a curved line. Okay? Tied notes are played as 1 unbroken note. So when we reach that note in this next phrase, measure 5, 6, so measure 7 going to measure 8, you've got a half note tied over to a quarter note, and they're both C's. So the half note is worth how many beats? 2, that's correct. And the quarter note is worth 1, okay? And then you take that 2 and that 1, and you get 3. All right, so you add them together. All right, so let's say it. Ta, 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 ta. All right, 3 taps. All right, so you want to be able to say that and tap your foot. Then you play it on 1 note. I'll do it on an A. Okay, notice that last note was 3 counts long. Okay, it looks like 2 notes, but it becomes 1. All right, then you figure out what the notes are. I'm going to give you a second to do that. Look them up, figure out what those notes are. All right, and if you pause the video, I hope, right? So then if you said E, E, D, D, C, you were correct. Let me try to get this camera so it's catching all of my fingers. And by the way, one thing you're not seeing, do you see my thumb on this octave key? For the E and the D, I have to press my octave key, but the other notes I don't. So when I go to C, I let go of that octave key. All right? All right, now, there is a note at the end of that line, and that's a pickup note that leads into the next line. That G really belongs to the next line. But if you look at the second line, it's the same exact thing as the first line, isn't it? Except that it doesn't have that last note. So, when you play that G, you're just going to go right on to the next line. All right, so let's say starting on that last note of the first line, and we'll go all the way through to the next breath mark, which is at the end of the fourth measure. All right, so here we go. I'm going to crouch down. Here it goes. Ta, 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 ta. All right, so tap it and say it. Okay, and then I'm going to play it on C this time. All right, then I got to figure out what the notes are. I'm going to give you a second to do that. Pause the video if you have to. All right, and if you said G, C, 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 G, A, G, you were correct. And then finally the ending is just like the measures above it in the first line, isn't it? Let's say it. Ta, 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 rest. All right? And then let's play it on one note. Let's play it on let's say an A this time. All right? And then what we do is we're going to play it with the notes. Take a second to figure them out. Hopefully it'll be kind of quick for you because you did it already. All right? And if you said E, E, D, D, C, you were correct. All right, now I'm going to play the whole song for you. Your goal is to try to be able to play that along with me by the end of this week, if not sooner. Here goes. This is Farm Out from the beginning. 1, 2, ready. There you have it. Good luck. Practice hard.